The dust-up at Monday's Rochester City Council meeting over gender-neutral language in the city's charter offered, if nothing else, a fascinating view of the varieties of power at play in local politics. First was a demonstration of the power of thought and organization by young people against powerful traditions of bias. High school students Anna Kirkland, Alina Hyder, Martha Burkett, and Leah Fulp, members of a youth action committee that has been engaged in a year-long effort to remove any gendered language in the charter, spoke first. Fulp delivered a truncated version of a column she wrote for the Post-Bulletin that explained the ways masculine pronouns have been used to promulgate sexism as far back as the 15th century, when Latin grammarians determined the masculine gender more worthy than the feminine.
Gender is actually semantically based, not grammatically based, which means that when we use gender in a sentence, it has a lot of meaning, and it's important for articulating our intent. So when we do something like use the generic masculine, meaning that we use he and him pronouns to represent a universal viewpoint, what we're saying is that the viewpoint of anyone who doesn't identify as masculine or male is extraneous. And I don't think that that's something we can allow anymore.
Last year, the students suggested changes to the city's charter commission, which then forwarded those suggestions on to the city attorney, who's authorized to make such changes to the document. They successfully wiped out all gender-specific language, but they wanted to make one more change to the document. And this one was substantive, so it required the approval of the full City Council. Section 2.03, Subdivision 3 of the city's Home Rule Charter currently reads as, the Youth Committee proposed changing it to this. The Council voted, and the measure failed by a single negative vote, cast by Mark Hickey. He defended his vote by saying the charter is already gender neutral, and that the proposed final fix would not prevent someone from erasing it in the future. We emphatically disagree. Words and symbols matter. Even if the new wording for the charter seems unnecessary or superfluous to some, this was an opportunity to make the document crystal clear, and to make the point that Rochester City stands resolutely in opposition to anything that smacks of sexism or bias. Hickey's vote could be generously described as a missed opportunity.
When Hickey voted no, I was pretty nonplussed for a minute. I honestly thought he was kidding.
Fortunately, both Hickey and the city get a mulligan. After a torrent of criticism overnight Monday, Hickey reversed himself Tuesday. Perhaps this points to the power of an engaged and active constituency. In an email, Hickey said, I heard from a lot of well-meaning people who thought that this meant that I was against gender-neutral language, and this has never been the case. He went on to say that the language does no harm, and I will support it at the April 2 City Council meeting. So, what did we learn from this episode in local politics?
I think the biggest takeaway for all citizens is that absolutely anyone can make a difference. If there is a problem that you see in any level of government, no matter what your age, your gender, your religion, anything, you can get involved and you can change it.